Welcome to our channel. This is Ashish, and this video will discussing about the muscles of pharynx. As I told in the previous video, the pharyngeal wall consists of 5 layers: mucosa, submucosa, pharyngobasilar fascia, the muscles of pharynx, and the buccopharyngeal fascia. So we talk in detail about the rest of the 4 layers. Now it's time to discuss about the muscles of the pharynx. So in total we have 3 pairs of circular muscles and 3 pairs of longitudinal muscles. So what do you understand by these lines which I said? So the pharyngeal muscle consists of 2 layers. So the pharyngeal muscles are itself has 2 layers. The outer layer is circular. We have outer circular and inner longitudinal. Inner longitudinal. So how to have an outlook of orientation or position of these muscles in the pharynx? Since pharynx is a fibromuscular tube, so just imagine it as a tube which has an upper end and an lower end. As it is shape of funnel, that's why I have made it slightly slanted. So the outer layer has some circular muscles whirling around the tube. So we have 3 pairs of outer circular muscle and 3 pairs of inner longitudinal muscle. So circular part is arranged like this, whole around the tube, and the longitudinal muscles are arranged along the length. So let's see what are all these the circular muscles and the longitudinal muscle. So we have circular muscles, 3 pairs, means we have 3 sets, in total 6 muscles. So we have 3 pairs. So what are they? They are the first is a superior constrictor, superior constrictor, constrictor. So when I say the word constrictor, why should the name be given like this, the superior constrictor? Means if I talk about the superior, then there must be inferior. Yes, we have superior, middle and inferior constrictor. And why the constrictor? Because the muscles have the capacity to expand and relax. Because of the presence of elastic tissue in the mucosa, this can easily expand and relax, hence can help in the deglutition process. That is the second phase of deglutition. See, deglutition divided into 3 phases. First we have the oral phase, the deglutition phase, and the esophageal stage. So the second stage is the pharyngeal stage, in which the muscles of pharynx help in the deglutition. So we have superior constrictor, we have middle constrictor, and the third and the lowermost is the inferior constrictor. Inferior constrictor. So when we talk about the shape of all these muscles and their orientation, you can imagine them as a flower pot placed one of the other. So suppose here is the inferior constrictor present innermost. So here is a flower pot. So imagine this as a flower pot without the bottom, means the bottom is not there and you can easily pass, or the substance can easily pass through it. So this is the inferior constrictor. Then how the middle constrictor is placed? See, it is placed above it and the inferior overlaps the middle part or the middle constrictor, and superior is inside the middle one. So they are like a flower pot without the bottom, placed one above the other. Now the remaining muscles are the longitudinal muscle. Longitudinal muscle. So we have also 3 pairs of longitudinal muscles, 3 pairs. And what are they? Firstly, the name will be pharyngeus because it belongs to pharynx, and depending upon the origin of from where they are having an attachment, their names are derived. Firstly, we have a stylopharyngeus. So hence you can guess from where does it originate. Yes, it originates from the styloid process, then passes between the superior and inferior middle constrictor, and then is attached to the lower part. So we will discussing about this muscle in the later part of the video. So we have stylophalanges. We have two more muscles, longitudinal muscles, that are the palatopharyngeus and salpingo. So when you hear the term salpingo, anyway in the case of the anatomy, salpingopharyngeus, you should always remember that salpingo word means tube. It means tube. So it has some attachment to a tubular structure. So the only tubular structure you know in case of the pharynx is the auditory tube. So it has an attachment to the auditory tube, or it originates from the auditory tube. So when you hear the word salpingo or the salpinx, you should remember the tube. It is also in the case of fallopian tube, which is also called the salpinx. So this was the circular and the longitudinal muscle. Now we have to discuss about the, when you talk about the muscle, we have to discuss about the origin, insertion and the action. Nerve supply, I know we have to discuss, but in the later part of the video, that is in a separate video discussing about the nerve supply, vascular supply and the lymphatic drainage. That's the other concern. So first concern is to have an outlook or overlook of the attachment of the circular muscles and then the longitudinal muscles. So circular muscles, it's very simple to remember the insertion. All the three have the same insertion. So insertion, for knowing the insertion, you should know firstly the origin, from where does it originates. All the constrictor, superior, middle and inferior, placed one of the other, covering the above part. So we have to draw certain landmarks to help us easily draw the diagram of the origin. So the landmarks you have to remember like this. My PPT showed man, style and high life. So you have to remember like this. My PPT, PowerPoint presentation, showed man, style and high life. So what does all these things stand for? See, MY stands for the medial pterygoid plate, or the part of the ethmoid bone. So this is medial pterygoid plate. So what I am trying to do is to make a certain framework on which you can draw the origin and have an outlook or an easier view of the origin of all the three constrictor. So PPT stands for, we have the T stands for tongue, then the 2P remains stands for the pterygomandibular raphe and the pterygoid hamulus. So it stands for pterygoid hamulus and pterygomandibular raphe. Pterygomandibular raphe. Short stand for stylohyoid ligament. Stylohyoid ligament. See, if you are having trouble remembering all this, just to have a look on the diagram and then you can easily recall all these things. I'm just tell you to see, whenever drawing a diagram, you should know the certain framework on which you can draw the diagram. So for remembering that, this mnemonic type thing I have made. So this is man stand for mandible, style stand for styloid process, because all the three constrictor have a plethora of attachments, that is the origin. So you should know about all of them, and these are also important from the lateral relation of the pharynx. In the very first video I told you, if you are difficult remembering the lateral relations, you should see about the muscles of pharynx. So this is some part of the very first video that we have discussed. So high stands for hyoid bone, and life stands for larynx. Now on the basis of this, let's start drawing the diagram. So first you should start with my PPT. So you have to draw the medial pterygoid plate. Here is the medial pterygoid plate. So what does it mean? The above is the base of skull. So above we have base of skull. This is medial pterygoid plate, medial pterygoid plate, and this is pterygoid hamulus, pterygoid hamulus. So my PPT. So next P stand for pterygomandibular raphe. So we'll drawing after drawing the mandible. So we have one more structure, but I have not drawn yet because we have to draw the mandible first. Then we will approach closer to this. That is the pterygoid mandibular raphe. Next is the T, that is PPT, that is the tongue. So it's very obvious, tongue will be situated little anterior to this. So this is tongue. We have then mandible. How mandible is located? See, mandible, suppose I am drawing the mandible like this. So this will be the lateral side and the inner will be the medial side. So the constrictor have an attachment to the medial side and not the lateral one. So I am drawing here the just a schematic diagram I am drawing. Here is the mandible. This is mandible. So let's draw some teeth, as you can see in many books. These are the teeth. This is mandible. And mostly the posterior part behind the mylohyoid line or the just anterior to the attachments of the pterygomandibular raphe. So now we have enough framework on which you can draw the pterygomandibular raphe. So it is like this. So this is the pterygomandibular raphe. I always try to simplify the diagram, so because the diagrams are more important in case of the anatomy, and this is are the just mark scanner. So we have pterygomandibular raphe. So my PPT showed that if you have to draw the styloid apparatus, so at the back side we have the styloid apparatus. So this is nothing, just the styloid apparatus. My PPT showed man style and high life. So what are the high life? Hyoid bone situated just below to the mandible. We have the hyoid bone. Hyoid bone has a greater conua or lesser conua that you should know before in the case of the osteology part. And just below the hyoid bone, the last one, that is the larynx, which denoted by the life mnemonic. So here we have the thyroid cartilage and the cricoid cartilage. So like that we have come to the end of the framework that we will be discussing in the next video. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and do subscribe and share channel. And thanks for watching.